Hi everyone, it's Jono here from Abrantix, and today we're going to be going through the different types of results the Extension API returns and explaining the difference between them. So let's get into it. The Extension API will return three different types of responses: a 400 bad request, a 500 server error, and 200 OK. So let's break that down. A 400 bad request means that you haven't formatted your request body properly and the Extension API doesn't know how to process it. So let's take a look at an example. So I've got Postman open and I'm going to try and run a command against a robot, but I'm missing one important key piece of information for our request, and I'm missing our target. So if I try and hit send now, and as you can see, we get a 400 bad request and we get an error message to say what's actually missing. And next we have 500 server error. So a 500 server error means that the Extension API has received the request, it tried to process it, but something went wrong. So let's take a look at an example. So I'm back in Postman now, and I'm going to try and run a test cleanup, but I haven't called test initialize. So the Extension API is going to try and run the cleanup, but it's going to fail because it's going to be in an invalid state. So let's have a look at the results. So if I hit send, you see that we get a 500 internal server error, and we get some messages here as well to let you know what actually went wrong. And finally, we have 200 OK. A 200 OK means that you've sent a properly formatted request to the Extension API, and the Extension API has forwarded that request to the target extension. However, a 200 OK doesn't always mean that the target extension returned a successful result. So let's take a look at an example. Okay, so we're currently targeting the OCR extension, and we're going to be running a search for command, and we're going to be checking whether the image contains a MasterCard. So if we hit send, we should get a successful result because our image contains MasterCard. And we do. So we can see we get a 200 OK and our result is successful. But what happens if I send a contains MasterCard 1, for example, something that it doesn't actually contain in the image? What's the result going to be? Well, let's give it a go. So I'm going to do MasterCard 1 and I'm going to hit send. Okay, we got our response and we can see that it's a 200 OK, but if we look at our response body, we can see that our result is actually failed. So why is that? So the OCR extension processed the request without any errors and it done what we told it to do. It was searching for MasterCard 1, but MasterCard 1 doesn't exist, so it returned a failed result. So that's why it's important to actually have a look at your response body to ensure that your automation's executed successfully. I hope you found this video helpful in explaining the different types of responses the Extension API returns. If you want to learn more information about the Extension API, head over to docs.paytesthub.cloud, and there's lots of information there to help you get started. Catch you guys in the next one.